Okay, so today we'll talk about senses. This is chapter number 4. Okay, and this is lesson 4.1. The lesson 4.1 is about hearing and touch. So before going and talking about these senses one by one, we will learn what are the senses. Okay, so how many senses do we have? So just a minute ago, a student, she replied that there are, how many senses we have? We have 5 senses. Okay, we have 5 senses. So what are those 5 senses? What are those 5 senses? So here are 5 senses. The first sense is what? Sense of sight. Then you have sense of hearing, sense of taste, sense of touch, and sense of smell. As you can read the names of those senses, you can also see the organs with which you can have these senses. Now look at your eye. Your eyes can see. So your sense of sight is related to your eyes. Then you can hear. So sense of hearing is related to your ears. Then you have taste. So sense of taste is related to your tongue, because when you eat some food, your brain. Now what is in the middle? This is your brain. So your brain quickly tells you what kind of food you are tasting or what kind of food you are tasting. It's hot, or even it tells you about, is it hot? Is it cold? Did you like the taste or did you not like the taste? This is what your brains tell you about. Even when you are hearing, your listening power, your ears, your sense of hearing tell you what kind of sound is this. Sometimes you hear some alarms or some alerts or some things that alert you. For example, if your phone is ringing, when you hear the sound of phone is ringing, your brain orders you to go pick up the phone and receive the call and listen to the call. Okay, same here, your sense of sight. Maybe sometimes you hear something and you open your eyes and see. For example, when you are sleeping, you hear some sound. So what happens? The first thing is that you quickly open your eyes. Why? Because your brain is sleeping. It wakes up and it will wake you up also. Same here. Next one is what? Sense of smell. When you smell something, your nose smells something, your brains tell you what kind of smell is this. Maybe you like that smell, maybe you're not liking that smell. The smell is good or bad. This is what your brain tells you. Next thing is touch. When you touch something, your body or all your skin will tell you whether you're feeling hot, you're feeling cold, you're touching something cool, something soft, something, whatever are you touching. Your hand tells you, or your skin tells you that you have touched something soft or you have touched something hard, also cold or hot. So these are finally, we can say these are some of the 5 senses in which you have sense of sight. What is the meaning of sense of sight? In which you can see. Next one is sense of taste. When you taste something hot, cold, sour, bitter, your tongue tells you about different kinds of taste. Then you have sense of touch, you have sense of smell, and finally you have sense of sound. So these are some of the senses that alerts you from the upcoming things. If something is good or something is bad, these are some of the senses that will tell you what you can do. Okay, so now you can see here clearly that which organs. Now these are organs. What is eye? Your eye is your organ. Okay, so if somebody will ask you what is the organ of vision or what is the organ of your sight, how can you see? You see with your eyes. What is the organ? So these are the organs, the upper one. These are the organs, and these are the senses that you have. With the eye, you have sense of vision. With the organ, that is ear, you have sense of hearing. With the organ of nose, you have sense of smell. Then with the tongue, you have, tongue is an organ. Organ means awa al-jism, or the parts of your body with which you can do things. Now with the sense of smell, with the tongue, what do? You do a sense of, you can have a sense of taste. Now look at your hand. This is the part of your body with the help of which you can touch or see things. It's not only about hand, it's about all the skin which is on your body. Maybe when you're walking, you hit your foot with something, your foot will tell you that you hit something soft or hit something cold. So all over the body, you can, sometimes you hit yourself by the wall. So maybe your arm hit the wall, or maybe your body or your everything. So you can understand, all the body will tell you that how did you hit the wall. Okay, so now this is the lesson, that is 4.1. So we have a main focus on hearing. Okay, why hearing? Why sense of hearing is important? This all chapter involves with the five of the senses. So the first sense is what? Sense of hearing. We will learn about sense of hearing in detail. So look at here. Why hearing is important? Because when you hear it or when you listen some sound, okay, so your sense of hearing help you to warn, to tell you what is happening around us. For example, when you're sleeping, if you hear something, for example, you put some alarm on the phone, or maybe you're sleeping, you listen to adhan and you wake up for salah. So when you cannot hear, maybe you cannot wake up. So when you are listening, for example, if you hear some voice, you go outside and see. For example, if you're sitting inside your room, if somebody falls down, or when you hear some sounds, or God forbid, if you hear some alarms of fire, you quickly, your sense of hearing will help you in going out. Another thing is what it all, when you hear something, it warns us about the dangers that can alert us. Okay, so when you are listening to something, okay, it can alert you when you hear something dangerous, when you hear some sound, when you hear something, some good or some bad thing, you can quickly tell yourself. Now, for example, if there is a fire alarm in the school, okay, and in any building where you're sitting, in some office, or maybe you're sitting in the hospital waiting for something, there are some alarms that alert you to leave the building. Or for example, if you're sitting in a car and you hear some big sound, you quickly understand. Now, I give you an example. When some cars are standing in front of the train and they hear the train is coming, they keep themselves away from the railway track. Okay, so this is what we were talking about, the senses. These are our five senses. So first we studied about the senses that are in your book. Now see here, if you have opened your book to page number 38, this is page number 38. Okay, so we'll read here in detail about what is a sense is a way of finding out about the world around you. Okay, the senses are what? These are the five senses which I have introduced to you already. Okay, I will ask one of you to